Hey everybody, this is Chris with Overclockers Club. I am back again with something else cool from EnGenius here. This is one of their latest. This is a new access point. It's the ECW220S. So, there's not much to see on the box, so let's get it out of the box. Now, if you're not familiar with EnGenius, EnGenius makes all kinds of networking hardware, switches, access points, all that good stuff. They make it for residential and they make it for business, commercial, enterprise, whatever you want to call it. Now, the residential stuff, the consumer grade, it works fine and it's much more affordable, but it doesn't have the capabilities and the feature set typically that your enterprise grade stuff would have. So this is really meant more for, well, business solutions. Right there it says it. It's meant for small, medium businesses. So the price tag for this kind of hardware is far higher than what you would probably want to pay for home use. This will all work in the home, but it's just massive overkill for residential. So anyway, the stuff I've been looking at is all part of the business grade, and it's really nice stuff. This here again is the ECW220S. The S is sort of this new security version that they have out now, and we'll look at some the basic specs before we tear into it. Okay, so let's look at the product highlights. Basically, this has some extra security features, or an extra layer of security that the other switches, or access points I should say, don't have. And what that amounts to is, it says here that it's ideal for information sensitive, financial, medical, and distributed networks, and comes equipped with EnGenius AirGuard, which is an intelligent wireless security system that identifies and eliminates intrusions and threats 24/7 while providing client devices with maximum performance. So that's sort of what the little S there on the end stands for. And again, the AirGuard, I've got another bit of information here I'll share in just a moment. Let's go over the rest of the features. So we've got Wi-Fi 6 technology for high performance. That's really becoming pretty standard now. Let's see, 2x2 antennas to support up to 1200 megabits a second in 5 gigahertz and 574 megabits a second in 2.4 gigahertz. 1 gigabit throughput, and 802.3 AT support, so that's your power over Ethernet. For flexible installation over 100 meters, so you can basically run an Ethernet cable to the switch up to 100 meters. Wireless intrusion detection, which is WIDS for threat detection. Wireless intrusion protection system, WIPS for attack remediation. Zero weight DFS to avoid client disruption when radar is detected on DFS channels. Dedicated scanning radios for 24/7 wireless AP security monitoring. RF spectrum analysis for identifying clean channels and ensuring all SSIDs are legitimate. And Bluetooth 5 low energy for BLE device detection and location-based extended advertising. And then on the bottom in red letters it says must be powered over Ethernet, does not include AC adapters. So the specs here, I'm trying to pick out what's really important, or really interesting I should say. The processor is a Qualcomm quad-core ARM Cortex-A53S running at 2 gigahertz. Again, we've got 2 of the 2.4 gigahertz and 2 of the 5 gigahertz antennas. Let's see. Physical interface. It does show here 2500 base T. I don't think that's correct. I think this is only a 10, 100, 1000 or gigabit connection. So I think that's a misprint there. Let's see. You've got the LED power indicators. Over here on the management side, let's see, 8 SSIDs are available for 2.4 and 5 gigahertz radios, which is nice. VLAN tagging, spanning tree, QoS, let's see. Nothing too exciting there. And the final one, let's see. So you've got AP and mesh, so this will operate as a mesh system with additional access points that are, of course, part of the EnGenius AI Cloud. Transmit power up to 22 dBm on 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. Maximum power is limited by regulatory domain. That's pretty standard. Let's see, multi-user, multi-in, multi-out, single user, multi-in, multi-out. That's really about it as far as anything terribly exciting. Usually the specifications are not a lot of not a lot of excitement there. Okay, so this is a page here that talks about AirGuard, what it is, what it does. It basically is available on two different access points, the ECW230S and the ECW220S. The 220S is, of course, what we have today. What does it do? Well, it detects, detect. AirGuard continuously monitors the radio spectrum used by wireless LANs for the presence of unauthorized rogue access points and wireless threats. The system finds and auto-categorizes suspicious access points and SSIDs, as well as potential wireless attacks like evil twin, deauth attacks, and RF jamming. And it will send a notification to the administrator whenever security issues are found. Let's see. Real-time diagnostics to implement the best Wi-Fi experience. So security access points have dedicated scanning radios for spectrum analysis and efficient channel utilization to identify Wi-Fi performance issues and help system admins avoid radio interference and maximize Wi-Fi for the best experience. Zero-weight DFS. DFS is dynamic frequency selection, so it has zero-weight DFS to avoid client disruption. Security access points use dedicated radios to continuously scan all DFS channels in the background and maintain a list of available DFS channels, preventing client devices from being temporarily disconnected. So it almost sounds like traffic control monitoring for channels that are overly crowded. BLE capability for local-based applications. Equipped with BLE sensor, a BLE sensor security, access points can scan and obtain information from Bluetooth devices. EnGenius provides BLE APIs for customers who want to retrieve data from any IoT or location-based application. Very nice. And again, here's a little chart that shows a comparison between the 220S and the 230S. And really, the 230 is just a more powerful version of the 220. You can see right there, it has a 2.5 gigabit interface versus the one, faster data rates. Everything else down here is the same. So really, the AirGuard is just another level or layer of additional security. And spoiler alert here, this does not come with a power adapter, so EnGenius did supply me with a PoE, Power over Ethernet power adapter. These are also known as injectors. And you have to have either this or an adapter, and again, the adapter is not included, to power your device. So this one here has some additional security features that we will look at in more detail. Now, I've already got the EnGenius cloud on my network here, so it'll be pretty easy to get this incorporated into the network, but it comes with a little sort of an instruction booklet here that shows you what's going on, shows you what's included. So there's your access point, the instruction guide, which is what we're looking at here, mounting brackets, some mounting hardware, and some little T-rail mounting clips there, mounting kit. So you've also got your QR codes here. You can scan these in, and this will help you with troubleshooting of the cloud web GUI, and getting the cloud installed and set up. But basically, it sort of shows here. So this is your access point. You've got a PoE switch, there's a router, and then the internet, and of course there's your EnGenius cloud. And I'll go over the EnGenius cloud here in a little more detail a little later, but the instructions here show you how to mount it, and then in the little box should be all of the hardware that you need. Yeah, there are your clips for mounting to the T-rail. Again, your hardware screws, anchors, and I think that's about it. There is no Ethernet cable and there is no power adapter. Like I said, you have to use your own power adapter that you can purchase from EnGenius, or better yet, just use a PoE switch, or you can purchase one of these. Like I said, I call these injectors. This is a PoE adapter. And what this does, so let's just say your Ethernet cable that goes to this is just a standard Ethernet cable and it has no PoE capabilities or power over Ethernet capabilities. So you use this little device here. This end plugs in, of course, to a standard wall outlet. So you got 120 volts in, and then you can see here there's a power indicator. It says PoE and LAN. So your cable coming in from your router that is not PoE, not supplying any power, comes in here. And then when it comes out and goes over to your access point, and I'll show this later, then this here has Ethernet and power coming out to power up your access point. So this looks a lot like the size of the other units that I've got, and I've reviewed those. I'll post the link. Now I've actually reviewed this one here. This is the ECW220S. That's this unit right here. The ones I've already got and reviewed are the ECW230, and then this one, let's see, right here, the ECW120. And like I said, I'll post those links. Okay, so here's the unit. The back of the unit, again, this is not too exciting, but there's your Ethernet port, and again, PoE, or you have a DC 12 volt socket there to plug in your adapter, and then there's a tiny little reset hole right there. It says reset. Usually you use like a paper clip to reset it, and typically that restores this back to factory defaults. Now your 12 volt input, if you do use a separate adapter, make sure you've got a 1.5 amp capable adapter to supply power to it. Okay, so the next thing to do here is I will scan this QR code in and get this thing into my system. And I just happen to have this nice switch from EnGenius. This is the ECS2512FP. It is a power over Ethernet capable switch. So we will go ahead and run this cable over to the access point. Okay, so the next thing I do is I go over to my smartphone and fire up the EnGenius app. You can see I have 2 access points currently. I'm going to add a third. So at the bottom right, the orange plus, I hit that, and then on the back of the device I scan the QR code. That puts it into the system, and then that's pretty much all there is really to the setup. Everything else sort of works on its own. There's the message that shows me that the registration is successful, and now you can see I have 3 access points showing up. And when the unit is first powered up, it takes a few minutes. You have to register it with the cloud, which I've already done, but again, that takes a few minutes. And a lot of times there's a firmware update as soon as this thing really gets going. So we'll see, there we go. So we see activity here on these other lights. And what I'll do now is log into my EnGenius cloud through the PC and see what's going on. And the ECW220S shows up, and if you look over here, you can see a little symbol there. The firmware is being updated. Yeah, so that takes a couple of minutes. And that really brings me over here to what is really the heart of the EnGenius AI Cloud. That is your interface here, or your dashboard. After you log in, this is what you'll see. And this sort of gives you an overview. This is the radar here that shows you all the different aspects here, and it sort of keeps track of them. You can see one of them here. I am a little off base. That is the 2.4 to 5G to 6G client ratio. I don't have any 6G clients currently, but apparently it doesn't like that, and it's at least letting me know. I don't know that this is really a problem, just more of a, again, just letting me know. So over here, gateways, I don't have any gateways. I do have 3 switches, 3 access points. You can see multiple clients, and I'll look at these here a little more here in just a moment. Down here you can see this is roughly the last 24 hours of throughput through your access points. You can filter down through different SSIDs, but I only have 1. Looking down here, we've got the top access points. I have 3 of them. This sort of shows me the bandwidth, the amount of data that's moving through my access points. These are my top clients. This shows me who's using the most bandwidth. Again, great way to reflect on data throughput. Your top SSIDs, again, I only have 1 SSID, so everything is moving through that SSID. Down here, we can look at the top applications, top device operating systems, back up to the top. So the access points is what we're really focusing on. So when we look at that, you can see my 3 access points show up. We're going to look at the 220S, the ECW220S. I can make sure my firmware is up to date. The little LED light here, when you enable this or disable it, it's actually locked or unlocked. What this does is it shows the flashing light momentarily on top of your access point, and it's to locate it. So if you've got a building full of these and you want to be able to show which one is the one you're trying to work on or locate, you can turn that on and your lights will flash on the access point momentarily. So when I hit this, there you can see the lights blink. And it's doing it for just a few seconds. The counter goes back down and you can see it goes back to its normal functionality. Okay, so what else here? You can look at so much of your controls and the monitoring. Let's see if I can find. There's a lot here to try and remember where it is. Let's see. Okay, clients. I can look at all the clients that are connected to this particular access point. I'll just show you some of the other features here real quick while we're in the AI cloud. The topology is good. It shows you a representation of your system, so you can sort of see what is connected to what and how it is connected. Again, very nice for troubleshooting. You can control and access and monitor pretty much everything. And all this is available and accessible through your smartphone. And here are a few screenshots from the EnGenius smartphone app. You can see you can drill right down through each device, any device that's attached to your network. You can get in and look at the configuration, the settings, make changes, adjustments, monitor all the devices, all right there from your smartphone. So again, keep in mind, this is all part of the business solutions. This is for a small, medium business. When you combine this access point along with the other access points under the business solutions umbrella, you get a very robust mesh network. Also combine that with the switches. This access point is easy to use, easy to set up, easy to integrate with your EnGenius AI cloud. Pricing on this, again, being that it's a business grade product, it is not cheap. It is around $500 for this unit. But again, you're getting all of the robust feature sets that go along with this, including the extra layer of security on this particular model. Again, it's the ECW220S. The S is what you want to look for if you're looking for that extra security. So overall, I would say this has definitely earned the Overclockers Club Gold Award. So this is Chris with Overclockers Club. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.